Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and grew a few trees on our island here, and I am quite happy with how this is looking. The mushrooms have gone absolutely wild, and I think it's okay. Might have to add in a few more flowers to balance them out, but either way, I am absolutely loving how this has turned out. But today we are going to be taking a break from growing up more forest. As you can see, I did manage to get a little bit more in going up along the path here. But today we're going to go back over to our little sort of town. We still have to get the interiors of all these houses and the rest of the trees. And we're going to work on the last kind of building that we have over here, which is going to be for our allays. Now, my original plan for this was to get a nice big ancient tree and have the allays kind of live inside of it. But I got a little bit of a different idea now. So let me get this all cleaned up and get the allays that are in here moved out, and then I'll be right back. All right, and there we go. We now have that entire thing cleared out, and I also dug a hole in the center here to mark where that is. And what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're just going to kind of have a nice little circle here out of stone bricks. We're going to mix in some mossy variants and some cobble later. But what I'm thinking is we're just going to have a nice little shrine here. We'll do 2 layers, I think. That way we can have stairs in the middle here going up to the main structure, which I think will look quite nice. Let's get our stone cutter here so we can get some of those. We also have some andesite to mix in as well later, but I'm not quite sure how much I'm actually going to use it. So we'll just have stairs like that, and there we go. So the stairs will go up like that. We'll put bricks along the side here, and this will just serve as our little space to keep our allays. Now I am going to have this solid all through here, and part of why we have the center dug out there is so that we can put in some redstone underneath this thing to keep all of the allays over here, just so that we don't have them wandering everywhere across the island and following me through the portals and everything else. So we'll have a 2-block thick space here, which means we'll have to go down another block to get the centerpiece in, since I would kind of like to keep the redstone in this hidden. But since we're going to be using a note block, and I think we have to have it going pretty constantly. I don't really know. I haven't played with allays at all. So we'll have to look and find out what we need to do for that. But I'm thinking we'll pretty much put that on a nice slow clock, fit that up to run all the time, and hopefully that should keep our allays right in this general area and out of trouble. All right, so there we go. We have the base of our structure here in, and now we just need to put in a few walls on the side here for pillars. Now we're gonna definitely texturize this later, and I forgot I need twice as many pillars as that. So these are just gonna go up 2 tall, and then on top of each of these, put some stairs. We'll have some upside down stairs in between, and that, if I can place stuff on top here, there we go, will serve as our roof. So our entrance will be kind of just like that, obviously a lot more texturized than this. And then on the inside, we're going to have some upside down stairs, just to kind of add a nice little bit of rim to this. And I completely forgot we had the hole here for the center. Anyway, I think that those stairs will look quite nice on the inside here. Just kind of make this look more like a rim on top. Looking at this now, that looks a little off. Let's take these back out and see what we can do about it. So let's pillar up here and see about adding a little bit more height to this. So if we put some regular stairs there and some upside down ones there, then we put a slab there, and there we go. That's much better. All right. So we just need to repeat that on all 4 sides, and then we'll be ready to start getting the redstone bits in that will keep the allays over here. Now, I don't know if I want to put these all over the island, just have a bunch of allays scattered about, which we could do. We have plenty of jukeboxes that we could go steal, or rather we have a jukebox that we can go steal to go do that, because the 8 or so allays that we have are probably not going to be enough for more than maybe 2 of these. Plus it's not as if amethyst is particularly hard to come by, but I haven't quite decided what I want to do. I think just getting this one in for now will do, and that will definitely help give a little bit of light to the area, because we'll have allays just flying around here. They'll go out of here, fly around, come back, and we'll definitely have to give them something to hold that fits a bit better. Maybe some flowers, maybe some cookies. You could always just give them cookies. But we have this kind of shrine structure here that I think will work very nice for keeping our allays. Now we just need the bits that'll keep them here. Alright, so I now have one of every block that produces a different instrument with the note blocks, and I figured we'd just do a little test to figure out which one is going to work best for the forest. Now we've come all the way down here, well away from all of our allays, so hopefully they don't hear it. So we're just going to test each one, and I can say right now, not sea lanterns. But we're just going to test each one of these out as we go along, and eliminate the ones that we don't want, like the sand there. So I'm going to go through all these, and then I'll be back once we've narrowed down our finalists. Alright, so after listening to every single note block thing, I think we're going to go with the gold block. Sounds really nice. Nice crisp bell. Now we may use the other ones here later for something else. I don't know. I did like how they all sounded, especially the ice. The ice is most likely going to be used again. But we now need to go and install that into our machine. And for that, we're just going to put in a... What are you doing? You should be tied up. First, we're going to, I guess, deal with the allay that's just roaming around. I guess we're just going to have you roam. But we need to get a few repeaters so we can do a very simple clock. Because if we don't have this thing going off at a steady rate, the allays will just wander off and won't come back. So I'm going to go get those crafted up. And I guess this guy can be our test subject. And I guess this little guy here can be our little assistant. So I'm going to go grab those, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we now have all of our materials. Our assistant is right here, ready to help us. During their travels, they managed to gain a bit of experience too. So we now just need to dig this down another layer into the ground, and that is mostly so that we can go and dig out these 8 blocks here and set up a very simple little repeater clock. And those are all just going to be on 4 ticks, going all the way around here, if I can get them set up properly. And then on this block over here, we're going to take out that block, take out that one, and we're going to replace that with the gold block with the note block on top. So now every time the signal goes into that gold block, we'll get the note block going off, and now we just need to get a signal traveling. So we'll just stick a lever onto there, make sure we got all of our materials to hop on out of this thing, and then just simply put that on. And now we have a nice little allay attractor. So any allays in the area of the note block will be attracted to it. So as we see, that guy starts to fly off, and eventually at some point, there we go, flies right on back to the little shrine. So now all we need to do is unleash these 2 and have them travel over there. So once they get into range, come on, they'll abandon me, go for the note block, and there we go. We now have allays traveling all around our little shrine thing, which we still have to put in the detailing. So now that we have these 3 connected to the shrine, I'm going to go get that done. So I'm going to make this thing look a little more ruined, a little more like it's just been left out here in the forest for quite a while, and then I'll be right back. And there we go. We now have that with a lot more different blocks mixed into it. It definitely has a lot more weathered look to it, like it's been out in the forest for a very long time, and I think that it works quite well. We may still mix in a bit of gravel into the base, but I think right now this is going to do quite nicely. Now, one thing that I did notice while working on the forest a bit more and growing a bit more of that up over there is that occasionally the clock will just fully lock up with signal. So, and what I think we're going to do is we're just going to come down here and we're going to replace one of these repeaters here with a redstone torch. Now we're going to break that, let the signal die out. So now we just need to put the redstone torch on one of these blocks, and I think I want to have it be on the gold block. So if we dig out to there and put that repeater back, if we can actually angle this correctly, there we go. Put that back on 4 ticks. So now if we put the redstone torch on our gold block here, that will pass the signal all the way around. It'll shut itself all the way off, go around again, and then it'll ding. Now I think this should be soon enough that the allays aren't going to completely wander off. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on them. And if we need to, we can make the signal go more often. But it also means that we're not going to have constant dinging all the time. And will be much more infrequent, which should be much better because it'll allow the allays to wander a little bit more, which will provide a bit of life to the forest. Now hopefully that doesn't break. It shouldn't, because if it does fully lock up the signal, then the torch will shut off and the signal will die out. So it should not break if we unload this area. That was the issue we were having with the other one. We unloaded the area and came back, started working, and all of a sudden we had all of our allays around us. So hopefully this works. But the other thing that we were doing on stream, besides growing up more of the forest, was we went and added this little tiny shrine right here. I think it looks really nice, but it's definitely missing something. So I think we're going to try adding a couple of trapdoors to it. And we're also going to take off the back there. Now the reason for that is, once I come up here to put trapdoor on top, which should give that, yes, there we go. That gives a bit more height on top. So just got to put that there. But the reason we're taking off the back is so we can put some candles in there and just have a few of those inside. And then we'll just come over here, put that on the back, and there we go. We just have this little tiny wooden shrine. I may put another birch trapdoor in the front, maybe? That might look a bit better than the oak, but we'll definitely have to play with that. But we can also just go in here and go yoink, and now we have a nice little kind of hidden light source, which should be very nice. Not that we don't have plenty of lights around this place. There's still no flowers or mushrooms in this section of the forest, but I think all in all, this is coming along quite nicely. But with that, I think that might be just about it for today. I think I definitely want more of these around. Just little kind of foresty shrine things that are around the place, as if they're little temples and such to keep the forest spirits appeased. And our allays just happen to be the ones that are flying around these bigger ones. We're definitely not going to do those for the little tiny ones. They're not big enough. But this is a fairy forest. It would make sense to have little shrines and such to keep the fairies appeased, because, well, one does not want displeased fairies. They can be rather troublesome. But as I was saying, this is coming along quite well. We are almost done with the main island. We've got quite a bit more to go, but we do have quite a bit done, and the forest is spreading out very nicely as well. But I think that is going to be it for today. So, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to continue to see the progress that's being made over here. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.